Ndị be anyị ndeewono. Nke onye chiri ya zere. This is Dibịa Nwangwu Uchendu. Good day, my listeners. Good evening, good morning. In whatever country you are listening to my voice, I have come to you with a message of restoration, promotion of Ọdịnala Igbo spirituality. Anyanwụ na-agbala enu na anyị akpọkukwe m unu si unu bịa kunu n'ọlụ unu were isi oche. Ndị ichie agwọ ọkpala nwoshi, nne mmiri ekenekwe m. Arọbụna agụ m, asị m na ị ga na-adị ile mgbe niile. Ezumezu na ọra mmụọ niile so mbịa nke sikwu nne nke sikwu na ekenekwe m. Ezumezu mmụọ niile nọ n'ala Igbo ekenekwe m. Si nke onye chiri ya zere na egwu ada atụ afọ wee buru ụzọ. Okilikiri ka a na-agba ukwu ose mana anara arịnya bụ ukwu ose enu. Wee na-asị nwa mmụọ emegbukwana nwa mmadụ ma nwa mmadụ emegbukwana nwa mmụọ. Ekenekwe m unu maka ohere unu nye m n'ụbọchị nke taa. Sị ka m bịa zisa ozi ọma ọdịnala ka ụmụnne m ebe ọbụla ha nọ na mba ụwa ka ha nụrụ onu m, ka ha chiyata n'ụzọ na ntọnanị unu debere anyị bụ ndị gboo, ndị ichie. Wee sị ka ntị nụrụ okwu a n'ụbọchị nke taa ka ọ nwee mgbanwe, ka ife ọma merie ya, ka ọmaka merie ya ụzọ kpochiri akpochi ka ọ kpoyie. Wee sị na anyị ga-adịkwa ka echi maka na echi adịghị agwụ agwụ. Dewo. Today we are going to talk about fertility leaf or fertility tree. In our language, we call it Ogilishi. Unu ma na Ogilishi na osisi mmụọ ka ọ bụ. So, basically, Ogilishi is a spiritual tree that has dynamic nature. Ogilishi has many spiritual solutions and benefits to man. Yes. If you look around you, it's like every town, every village, you will see osisi Ogilishi. If ọ na-alụ erika. Osisi mmụọ ka ọ bụ. It is an altar of the gods. Ogilishi is holy and a sacred tree. Ogilishi is used as a boundary marker. Eji eme demarcation. Wee na-eme egbo. In English, it is called new boldia. New boldia. Ogilishi has a lot of spiritual function. Ọ bụ na anyị na-achọ ọkụ, Ogilishi na-eme nyava anyị ọjụọ oyi. Because Ogilishi bears witness on earth. It serves a lot of spiritual, medicinal, and physical purposes. Yes, I want you to know today that we have types of Ogilishi. Enwe Ogilishi nke nwoke, Ogilishi nwanyị, and Ogilishi ngidingi. Ogilishi ngidingi, Ogilishi nwoke, Ogilishi nwanyị. Yes, that osisi mmụọ na-akwu maka ya. Wherever you see Ogilishi, it might be used on a grave, or it might be used as an altar. It is also used as a boundary breaker or demarcator. Ogilishi na onwe bụ alụsị mmụọ. Ọma mmụọ ka ọ bụ. Ogilishi itself is an altar for agwụ, okwu agwụ. It's also an altar for ndị ichie, okwu ndị ichie, among other purposes and among other uses. Ị na-ali anya n'ala Igbo, ị ga-afụ, it's like every home there is Ogilishi there. Most times during burials, it is used to accompany the person when the person is being brought out from the mortuary. Sometimes they use omunku. But once the person is buried, you will see at the head of the grave a stick of Ogilishi will be cut and implanted. From there, it starts growing. But that Ogilishi that is planted on top of the grave is for the dead to know that this is where everything ends. It is a boundary, a demarcator. So most times those Ogilishi will start growing on top of the person's grave. In terms of boundary, many will like to use Ogilishi, Echichi, Upokolo, Aboshi, because they are long-lasting in nature. You see it, some are short and dwarfish. Some grow very tall, very lush. You'll be wondering, is this Ogilishi the same thing with the other one? Because Ogilishi can live up to 500 years and look evergreen. That is its nature. Maka na osisi mmụọ ka ọ bụ. The same Ogilishi buried by our forefathers so many generations ago is still existing, is still flourishing, is still found in your compound looking very fresh. Because it is a spiritual tree. It is used for so many purposes. It serves so many purposes that people like to use Ogilishi in everything they do in Igbo land. Like I explained previously, it is used to demarcate boundaries. It is used to mark a grave because of ndị mmadụ na-enwere nsọ. You know this is somebody's grave. Generation of today, you go there and stand on top of somebody's grave. You go there to pee on someone's grave. You go there to wash clothes or to drop all sorts of rubbish on the grave. That is why I say that Igbo is a spiritual race. So whenever you, an ignorant person, sees that Ogilishi planted on a mold, you know, because some people, it takes them time, maybe like after 5 years, to like make a proper grave for the person, maybe use ties and make it like a mini grave so that people can know that this is someone's grave. Even before making that Ogilishi on top of that mound will let a novice or an ignorant person know that this is somebody's grave. It has been used to mark the person's grave. Even if after so many years, that place where the person is buried returns back to normal, just with that tree growing there, because by then it would have started growing. It is to let you know that this was somebody's grave or this is still someone's grave. But nowadays, in the our parents neglect their duty. They don't teach their children their culture. That is why in today's world, it is now the children teaching their aged parents their culture, which is very absurd. It's as if because of colonization, a lot of parents, they forgot who they are. They forgot their identity. Whether it is out of intimidation or I don't know. But I noticed it is a very big anomaly. Instead of the elders to put their young ones through in terms of their culture and tradition, they will tell you they don't know anything. It is now those that are called to serve their ancestors, Ndichie, communicate with. They are now the ones teaching their parents their culture and tradition. Most especially tradition. So those days as I was growing up, I used to notice this. For every grave, it is marked by this Ogilishi tree. Sometimes it is just the stick that will be impaled after the person might have been buried. In years to come, you see it growing, it will start flourishing, it start bearing leaves. Even mgbe ebe ahụ enili onye a inye ozu ebe ahụ enili na ọgbalego and formed ordinary ground. With the presence of that Ogilishi, you can still know that, yes, somebody was buried here. And you respect the dead. You give them respect. Because there is no way a living can be disrespecting the dead. Seeing that Ogilishi tree and you still go there intentionally pee and desecrate on that spot. If I want you to know today, even if you didn't grow up in Igbo land, know today that Ogilishi, New Bodia leaf or New Bodia tree, is a spiritual tree. A lot of dibia in ordinary use it a lot. Mgbe ịchọ ime ifechi, I am coming to that. Ịchọ inye chi gị nni. But the one that concerns me and worries me a lot is how our youth disregard graves. That is why Ogilishi tree is used to mark the person's grave so that you see it and be aware. Like an incident that a man took his people for their town meeting. They sat around somebody's grave. When I passed through, I said, is this not Mr. So grave? I called the attention of the man. I said, sir, please, what you are doing is wrong. Oh. He said, what? How can you put chairs and table on top of somebody's grave? And you are conducting your town meeting? He said, that the dead is dead and gone forever. I'm like, hey? But can you do this in your own place where you come from? Can you do it in your village? He became angry with me and said I should get out, that I don't even know what I'm saying. So imagine those kind of people in our society. And here we no longer have respect for the dead. It is to go and sit on top of a man's grave with your friends, bring your beer, your chairs and table, in the name of doing your age grade meeting or whatever meeting, association meeting. Don't you think that the dead man will roll in his grave? Or you think it is just ordinary talk? Don't you know that Ajani will judge that man and his friends? And if anything happens to them now, they'll be looking at, oh, my enemy, not knowing that they desecrated somebody's grave. You know, most people's loved ones, their grave is like an ancestral altar to them. Some is like a medium. Whenever they are depressed, they go there to talk to their loved ones, to their dead loved ones. Some still have this connection with their parents, with their loved ones. And why that art is going on, most people tell me demonic, this, that, and that. But a lot of people have witnessed turnaround by going to their father's or mother's grave to speak to them, to help them from the beyond, wherever they are, so that their life will turn around, or to help them to fight the battles of those people fighting them. So if there are people that honor their dead, why is it so difficult for people to understand or to do the same when they migrate and go to other people's towns or villages to reside in? So with the help of this Ogilishi tree, if you are spiritually conscious, you should ask questions. You don't just go there anyhow, especially when Ogilishi is used for a deity. Once you see the white cloth on it, please don't go there. Don't go there to pluck the leaf. It belongs to a deity. If you are not the chief priest to that deity, don't go there to do anything. Before you do anything, you must notify the chief priest. The Akajofo, you must notify him or her. Because during the course of this my ordinary journey, I have come to learn a lot of things. nwekwa alụsị chọọ ka nwoke bụrụ aka ji ọfụ ya. So it varies in different communities. You stay clear once you see any Ogilishi with white cloth on it and blood stain. Sometimes, maybe when the Ogilishi tree has not been attended to, you might not see the white cloth there anymore, or it might have turned brown. That is why you are asked to be observant. If you are observant, you will know. You don't just go there ignorantly and start playing and start urinating on it. And we give any oklimbo wishi. Iyava. Enwezi ike izuzuche inazi n'abalị gị na va agbalịba gị na va anọva ọgụ anụsị anasị. Or maybe they will hit you, give you spiritual knock on the head. If fully well. What am I saying in essence is that whenever you see this Ogilishi tree, beware. And before you pluck any leaf from anywhere, you pay homage to that tree. Tell it, please, I'm not coming to desecrate you. I'm coming to take you so that you'll be useful to me. I want you to, the functions that you do, I want it to be effective. You can even drop money before you pluck the leaf. I'm not talking about only Ogilishi. Dibịa mkpọrọgwụ na mkpa ifia kwesịrị ịma nke a. You don't just buy dakanye n'ofia je kaba ifia gbia herbs like that. You talk to them. There are spirits in them. You pay homage. Ọ bụrụ nke a na-ama nzu, ịma ya nzu. Ọ bụrụ nke na-etu afa, ituo onye afa. Ọ bụrụ nke a na-enye ego, ituche ya afa, idebeli ego. Ikala one na one ịchọrọ. And go ahead with your spiritual work. I say this for the spiritually inclined and for those returning back to our roots, returning back to our culture, returning back to ordinary spirituality, so that you don't make mistake. While you are in another man's land, please keep the answer. Acknowledge whatever it is. You don't go there and start saying, Imakwanyembo. Even if in your place, you people use it anyhow, it might not be the same in the other person's village or town. You give respect and honor to whom honor and respect is due to. For this Ogilishi, the uses of it, I have told you it is used to demarcate boundaries. Now, for people who have shared land and they don't have the means to fence it, this Ogilishi leaves naturally. It is used. When they cut it, they plant the stems inside the ground. They don't have to water it because naturally, the earth takes care of it and it flourishes. Mgbe mmiri zozo kwasị, ifunya bụ osisi Ogilishi otete, osisi mmụọ ka ọ bụ. It will start flourishing and it will start bearing leaves. And it has flowers on it. So those partners in agreement now know that from so place to the other place, this one belongs to Chijoke. From so place to the other place, the other one belongs to Nnamdi. So you don't trespass and start claiming somebody's land. Or even some deities, they use it as fence. Instead of using the cement, there are some deities who don't like it. Because they are a block. So naturally, this Osisi Ogilishi is used to demarcate, to fence around that deity's abode. That is why I say be very careful. Check properly. Be observant in your society, in your village, where you come from, in your community, to learn how things are done and to observe. So when you see Ogilishi being used as a landmark, to demarcate boundary, to mark a grave or erect an altar, nwanne bele ejiri ife a na-agba na ntị agba n'anya. ejirokwa ife a na-agba n'anya agba na ntị. Ọkwa ilu Igbo ka m tụrụ. This is an Igbo adage. Please be very, very careful. Whenever you see that Ogilishi leaf has been used to demarcate boundary, to mark a grave, to erect an altar, ask questions. Don't just misbehave. You go and uproot it. Maka ịkpọtukwa agwụ, ịdọtu agwụ n'ala Igbo, Ogilishi is used, osisi Ogilishi. And that is why the osisi Ogilishi flourishes. The person's agwụ will start flourishing spiritually and physically. I don't want to go deep, please. I just want to teach you about the uses of Ogilishi. So that is why you always see Ogilishi. It is always evergreen, because it's also a spiritual tree with so many functions, variety of uses. Ogilishi will always remain there, even as a witness, until somebody will remove it, maybe out of ignorance, or maybe they don't want it anymore. They are now ready to do a block fence, to do a fence using block. That is when those people that use it as a boundary demarcator will now remove it. So also, Ogilishi bears witness between you and the spirit. It is a powerful tree. It bears witness between you and the grave, for those of you who don't pay attention. I don't like it when people disregard or denigrate other people's culture and tradition. It might look funny and bizarre to you, but please keep it for them. Yes. Odibendi dekwalo ha o. That is my mindset towards certain things. You don't denigrate them and say, you people don't know what you are doing. This is how it's supposed to be done. The way you do it in your village is not the same way it is done in my own village, in my own community. No. It's very different. That is why I encourage people, once you come back to Ordinary, please try and go to your village, to your roots, to learn how some things are done spiritually and also physically in Ordinary Igbo. The way they do their Igomwo, the way they do their traditional marriage, because it's all about spiritual. Most of you don't know that traditional marriage is a spiritual event. They think it's a physical event to fulfill all righteousness. Or it's the culture of Ndi, but that culture has element of spirituality in it. So you have to be careful. Even the burial ceremony, there is nothing we do in Igbo that is devoid of spirituality. The Igbo tribe is a spiritual one. That is why you have to be careful. That is why somebody will travel abroad for years and live and die there. And back home here, his spirit will be disturbing his people. Why did you leave me there? Bring me home, bring me home. I don't have rest, bring me home. That is why I counsel our people to be very, very careful. You might be in a foreign land and think you are having the best of both worlds or the best of that place, forgetting that you are a spiritual person, that you come from a spiritual race, you come from a spiritual tribe. You just nodu kefulefu, more free of charge. Especially these people that come from spiritual ancestral lineage, you have to be careful the way you live your life. Out of ignorance, you can bring untold hardship, setback for your family back home here in Nigeria, in Igbo, in Anambra State. It can be Imo State or Enugu State. It can be from any other state. Because there is no tribe, yes, I know, there is no tribe that does not have their own dynamic spirituality. I'm talking from experience. After everything, maybe the children they left behind in that place, they will be the ones suffering it. Some of them don't know they come from a spiritual lineage. In their dreams, they will be haunted. They will be having nightmares that they can't explain because you, their parents, you didn't tell them anything about their origin, about their root. You become more westernized than the Westerners. So such instances, such circumstances has occurred. Nwoke m zụkwa n'ike na ndokwa kwa nke nwasị ka enye gị na cemetery for where? You'll be coming to disturb your people in ala Igbo here. That you are not resting in peace. You'll be parading the compound up and down. That is where they start looking for a Dibịa to find solution to the problem that they didn't create. Just because out of his own, will I say naivety, or he was being sophisticated while he was there or in the Western world. He said, buy a portion in that cemetery and bury me. So today, know the reason why our people, they return their corpse back home. It's not as if that they can't afford to be buried outside the country in that foreign cemetery. No. There is a reason. Ndị Igbo ji ebunata ozu. No matter the country, wherever their offspring, their uncle or auntie or cousin, whatever. No. There is a reason they bring their corpse back home to bury them in their ancestral land. There are some lineages you don't bury them outside. You will have terrible problem. You have problem. That is why you have to be careful with your life, with the way you live it. For those ones that are spiritually conscious and spiritually inclined. And I also wish that those ones that are spiritually dead and sleeping, they wake up to know who they are. Igbo bụ mmụọ. So I have to say this in the course of teaching you about Ogilishi tree. Many people, out of ignorance or out of wickedness, they choose to desecrate anywhere they see this Ogilishi tree. You don't know the purpose. You somebody's grave. You don't know whether it's used to demarcate boundary, just out of mischievousness. Be conscious of your surroundings. Be protective of trees. They are part of nature. Because this tree bears witness between you and the spirit, between you and your neighbor, between you and your grave, in whatever you do. And I say, you have to be careful. Even some of you that go as far as cutting down Ungu tree or Oji tree for economic purpose. I don't know. Then when the family starts facing calamity, Aboyaliba from pillar to post. Most of these Osisi, you have to be careful around them. You don't just go there and say, bring this thing and cut it down. It's obstructing me. I want to carve this out of that. I want to carve that out of the tree. You put yourself in problem. You implicate yourself. So I want to tell you that Ogilishi leaves and the tree, the bark, everything concerning it is spiritual, and it is also medicinal. During spiritual works, Ogilishi tree bears witness. It is used as a mungu for Agum and other shrine and altar. Ogilishi will be there as a witness to demarcate between the living and the dead. Example, between you and your ndichi, between you and other things that you are supposed to know. Assuming somebody is dead now, then after the burial, you touch the dead person and in a jefuozu, or maybe you help to carry the corpse. or you help in the burial to dig the grave, touching the corpse, the casket. After that, ị kwesịrị ijucha onwe gị. Yes, you have to cleanse yourself. How do you cleanse? You get this Ogilishi leaves, use it to cleanse your body, your hand. You can also use it to bathe. Squeeze it in your hands. Say words. Even failure to do that, if you don't do it, imetụsi ozu arụ ma henenecha anya epụta ebe a without using this Ogilishi leaves ije jucha arụ gị. You can be experiencing a loss of memory, Alzheimer. Memory loss. It's a spiritual thing. You know that when somebody is dead and departs, there are things around that person that you are not seeing physically in that place. You might just go there as an ordinary mourner. You don't know what is happening in the spiritual during the process. Sorry. So ị ga-eji akwụkwọ Ogilishi a wee mee gịnị? Kpuchaa arụ gị, fichaa arụ gị na that place before ị baa n'ụlọ be gị. Because there are some corpses that esiso na-eso. Once you go and partake in that burial, you didn't cleanse yourself. You just enter your house like that. You have opened another door for death again to come knocking in your own family. Please, I'm not saying this to scare anyone. I just want you to be conscious of whatever you are doing. It is also proper that after attending burials, you have to cleanse yourself. Do some cleansing. You can get 21 leaves of this Ogilishi or 7. You soak it in bucket with, what is it called? Alligator pepper. Say words of affirmation, declaration. In a way, in a wuchapo ocho, in a wuchapo ision, in a wuchapo iho bonabi kokoliko, geso. Si ife sitere na ebe ijele ebe enile ozu ma ọ bụ ife bụ seke ma ọ bụ ọgbọnụ kesi n'ebe a jekwa ozu ị na-awụchapịa. You take it, enter your bedroom and bathe. You can do it for 3 consecutive days or 4 consecutive days. So that you don't go there and attract negative energy. Ikpolu ukwu na ọrakwu in battalion, bata na be gị. Kesa ụmụ gị. Kesa your relatives. Because once you have any connection with dead body, once you are done, please get Ogilishi leaves and cleanse your body. During the days of our forefathers, when they used to carry dead people, they carry dead corpse on their head. What they use is Ogilishi leaves. They use it to do this health food, aju. Eji agwa aju. Aju Ogilishi ka eji ebu ozu. Are you listening? Mgbe eji ikpotuchi, Ogilishi is used, I feel Ogilishi, to feed the spirit. Because now if you're more ka na-eme, you also cut sticks, one to represent Chi and Ikenga. I don't want to go deep. Let me also tell you one of the medicinal purpose of Ogilishi. Ogilishi cures pile. You know, in your okpu now, okpu na kwụrụpụta n'ike. Once it comes out, you put this Ogilishi leaf on fire. Little, that's enyanya n'ọkụ. Then you use it to push the pile back inside. Once you do it 4 times, it will disappear. Ogilishi, akwụkwọ Ogilishi is used to cure infection, even infertility self. You put this Ogilishi leaves and some other leaves into the pot, boil it for a long time. You use a duvet or blanket to cover yourself and sniff it. Sniff the heat coming from the pot or bucket. What will happen once your body gets heated up? You feel pressed. You have urgency to urinate. Once you urinate or you feel because of the heat, you go and poo-poo. You urinate. The heat, excess sweat from your body. It will push out that infection from you immediately. Again, any home evil spirit is disturbing, ajọ mmụọ, a na-eji ogilishi wee maa ogwu. You can easily use or hango, the palm pieces, to put it on fire in that compound. Then you add ogilishi leaf on it. Put alligator pepper. Collect sand in your hand. Say what you want. Then pour the sand inside the fire and the smoke and everything. Ajọ mmụọ agba ọsọ. Maka ndị ajọ mmụọ na-enye nsogbu. Mama bata na be ha. Iweta ọmụ. Iweta akwụkwọ ogilishi. Ịnyabafa na abụ n'ọkụ. Ka ị na-anya ya n'ọkụ, you pour alligator pepper. Ikpoluzie aja n'aka gị. Wee kwubezi okwu that you don't want this spirit that is coming into your compound to come and is disturbing you people. Ebe ọbụla osi ya na chi ya azụ. After saying it, you pour that sand inside the fire. It will go off in the smoke now and everything. You have already sent or thought or banished that evil spirit away. Now, there is another thing that ogilishi is used for. Ifuru nwada, ịma na nwada na-enye nsogbu na mmụọ ma ọ bụ na-eme kwetari ọfụma. Nwada na-enyekwe nsogbu o. So if there is one that is disturbing, you have to be careful. What do? You get ogilishi sticks, cut it into 4 pieces, drop them on the floor. Get your chicken, yam, kola nut, nzu. Then imaba nzu. The way you talk to your powers. You plead and pacify the nwada. Then she will stop disturbing according to agreement. Then yanabo melo. When you are talking to her, when I'm nzu. Nyenyezikana nsogbu ka udochia ka agbayalo. Ife ọbụla bụ ife na-esen. You understand? Ogilishi leaves is used to also treat poison. To treat poison, you pound ogilishi leaves with akwu ojukwu. Then you rub it, you pour it to where you suspect the poison. It will also protect you from stepping on poison. Ogilishi leaves is used to cure venomous stings and bites. All what you have to do is to get it, squeeze it, let the water drop on that spot or rub it on that spot. You use it to treat the stings and bites or any kind of injury. It will help it dry up. This is the medicinal use of ogilishi. You can also mix the bark of ogilishi tree and the root to cure convulsion, akwụkwụ, headache, or swelling, otuto boil, ito mmadu. Once you get that bark and root, you can grind it. You know the way they grind tobacco. You can just sniff it or rub it on the spot where you have boil. The boil will start going down. But if you sniff it a little, it will cure your headache or it will stop the convulsion. You can also use the same, the bark and the root to cure fibroid, enyule. I have forgotten the English name for this enyule. And also boils. Sometimes you prepare it as tea. You boil the leaves as tea and drink it. For those ones that want to treat infertility and for fibroid to go down. Just get a handful of leaves, like 3 or 4. Put hot water on fire. Then you pour the leaves inside. Once the water is about to boil, you have to wash it, please. Allow it to boil, or you can squeeze it. After washing it, you can squeeze it and drop it inside to boil. Then allow it to cool slightly and drink consecutively for 1 week. and you see changes. It turns around your that's for those suffering from what is it called, anovulation. It will now regularize your hormone. You start ovulating. We have natural medicines, natural plants, natural leaves, trees that are used for medicinal and spiritual purposes a lot in Ordinary Igbo. So this is one of the medicinal use of Ogilishi. Once you drink it as tea, it relaxes your nerves. I'm not talking about those ones who are suffering from anovulation or PCOS. I'm talking about people who have insomnia now. Once you drink it as tea, you sleep like a baby. You have a good dream. And you also remember your dream in the morning. It relaxes the nerves. Once you make it your tea, that's you take it as a herbal tea before you go to bed. You know, I prefer all these natural leaves than this tea that they seal the tea bag. Because once you're around nature, you have to make use of nature itself. You don't spend so much money going to buy tea bags, especially if you're knowledgeable about herbs. You can get a couple of leaves from the trees around you. If you don't have it in your compound, maybe your neighbor, you can get there. Or you might have it in your village. Even mango leaf, you can take it, drink it as the guava. All you have to do is to read up about their properties and know what exactly you want to cure, or what they can do, or what they contain. Also, you can put Ogilishi leaf under your pillow so that you can remember your dream at night. For those of you who complain that they sleep and when they wake up, they can't even remember their dream, get a fresh leaf of Ogilishi, put it under your pillow. Or you can use nzu to remember your dream. You just get nzu, that white chalk, just rub it on your forehead and declare some words before going to bed, before going to sleep. You will discover that you will remember your dream. The first mmiri ndafo, you soak it with Ogilishi leaves till morning. Spray it in your house or you bath with it. That one is for aura cleansing. If you want to cleanse your aura of negative energy, because it's easy to contact all this negative energy. Iglige mmiri, or the first rain of the year, like I taught in my previous teaching. The first rain of the year is very, very powerful. If you're at home, please collect it. Collect it, the rain that fall directly from the sky, not the one that beat on the roof before it starts falling to the ground. No. Come to an open space. Put your white basin or your clean container down and allow the rain to fall directly. Once you collect that rain, now get some Ogilishi leaves. Soak it in it. You can spray it around your house. If it's still remaining, you can bathe with it. It will cleanse your aura and you'll be free from any genes. Once you do any spiritual cleansing bath with Ogilishi leaves every night, without soap, you don't use soap, your life will change. Like I said initially, Ogilishi is a spiritual tree. The leaves are also spiritual. It has a lot of function. Now, this one that you use it to do your cleansing bath or to cleanse your aura, it is for minor spiritual cases. But for the ones that are deep, that you have done cleansing bath, a lot of cleansing bath, the problem still persists, please consult your dibia. Jee gbaa afa. Jee gbaa afa ka ị mara ife ọ bụ. Ijekwe na ere gbaa afa. Afa ga-egoshiriri na ive bụ ive na-eme gị. Agwa gị shiele eme ka ọ wụọ dị mma. But this one that I'm talking about is a minor cleansing, the ones that you use Ogilishi leaves for. So I want you to pay attention so you don't be misguided or misunderstand me or misquote me. Once you do that cleansing bath with Ogilishi, you are free from jinns. So it will bring changes to your life. And like I said, if it doesn't bring any change into your life, if you have done spiritual cleansing bath, taking it using Ogilishi and that first rain of the year, then go for consultation, spiritual consultation. Go for divination, afa, afa. Now there are a lot of spiritual works you can do using these Ogilishi leaves. You can use it to do back to sender work. Somebody is disturbing your life, always raining evil, channeling evil, projecting evil against you. Ogilishi leaves is used to do back to sender work. Just get 4 leaves, drop it on a crossroad, pour a little nzu and edo, or use a native egg to cleanse your body. Say all what you want, drop it on it and go, but you don't have to look back. That is to do the simple back to sender. Also, if one is vomiting, Ogilishi leaves is used to stop that vomit. Just get the back, the peel, the back of the Ogilishi tree. Bring it close to the person's nose so that the person will keep inhaling it. The smell will suppress the vomit. It will stop that vomit. It stops vomiting. Once you get the back of Ogilishi, B-A-R-K, the dried one or even the fresh one, just bring it close to the person's nose so that the person will breathe in and out, perceive the smell. While he's breathing it in and out, it will suppress the vomit and stop it. Another use of Ogilishi, the tree itself or the branch of it, it is used to make image of the gods and spirits. For instance, ịtụ alụsị, ịtụ chi, ịtụ ọkpọsị, maọbụ ikenga agwụ. If you have been listening, you will recall I said something about feeding your chi kpotuchi. If you don't need an okposi, you can just get the sticks. Cut 2 sticks of Ogilishi. One will represent your chi. Then the other one will represent ikenga. That is if you have ikenga spiritually. You can get the leaves, like 4. You just cut it off from the tree. 4 feet. You place it on the ground and you get the 2 sticks. One for your chi, one for Oposi Kenga. And you start the spiritual ceremony of feeding your chi in your chinni. So, like I said earlier, Ogilishi is used to make image of gods and spirits. For instance, Ịtụ alụsị, ịtụ chi. I told you that some Ogilishi that they are used for Ịtụ alụsị, some alụsị. They tie white clothes on it. So whenever you see it, or your children, you have to instruct them. They should not go to that and remove the white cloth. No, they should not go there to pluck off the leaf. No, they should stay away. They should stay away. Maka nsogbu. Assuming they don't know, they are unaware. But I'm teaching you today for you to be aware so that you educate your children too. You educate your elders, your brothers and sisters, for them to know that Ogilishi bụ osisi mmụọ. It is used for a lot of purposes in Ani Igbo. And it functions effectively. So it is used as a boundary demarcator or demarcator. It is used as Ikenga Agwu, eji adotu Agwu. During Agwu ceremony, it is Ogilishi tree that is used. And after that, it starts flourishing. The Ogilishi will start growing. Spiritually, your Agwu has been embedded using that Ogilishi tree. Because no osisi mmụọ ka ọ bụ, ife mmụọ ka na-eme. I always say this repeatedly. So you don't think that people doing this, that they are foolish. Or you start wallowing in ignorance. They are worshipping the tree. They are So, Ogilishi is very powerful. It is also used as medicine for medicinal purposes. Now, if you get Ogilishi and you get some moringa leaf, you can use it to cure fibroid and enyule. Mkporogu. The roots, mkporogu, moringa, na mkporogu Ogilishi combined together. You use it to cure fibroid and enyule. I didn't say go and get and start curing yourself of it. If you are into herbalism, you should know it has dosage. You don't abuse even herbal drugs, please, so you don't complicate your life. I am mentioning it for you to know that this can be used to cure fibroid, enyule. I'm mentioning it for you to know the medicinal purposes and uses of Ogilishi. But you know, if you don't use herbs rightly, it can be poisonous to you. So I'm not encouraging you to go and do that on your own. Please take note. So some people will even use this Ogilishi leaf and alligator pepper to cleanse their altar. Their okwu mmụọ, ọma mmụọ, ọma alụsị, ukwu agwụ, among every other thing that is sacred that has been installed using Ogilishi tree. They do this every morning before praying with kola nut or sacrifice, before etupi gomo, before talking to their powers, please, so that our people will know the difference. We don't pray in ordinary Igbo. We make declarations. We state intentions. We make affirmation. We don't pray. And while we are doing that, we sit. You sit with a stool. For the women, when you sit sideways. You don't spread your legs open before your deity or before your altar or before your chi. You go and spread your laps wide open. That's not the right way to sit. You sit sideways while you can as well face your altar while you are sitting sideways. It is the men that they can open their leg that way. But even men, I will also advise them, ịgba mmụọ ngada ọ dị mma ebe okwu mmụọ gị bụ nwanyị ịchịsa ngada just ọkpa. I see a lot of them on Facebook when they want to impress us with their pictures. They should end up showing us negative things in the internet. Then another person viewing it will think this is how it's being done. No. And there's a wine, and there's a nwoke. The Dibịa Nwangwu, especially Dibịa Nwangwu. That's the wine. Mind how you sit. You sit on a stool sideways and turn slightly so that you can face or view your altar or your shrine. You don't sit down, open your legs, spread it wide. So know this today and do the proper thing. Ogilishi leaves is used to cleanse altars. Ọma mmụọ shrine, ọma alụsị. Okwu agwụ before you do every other thing in the morning. Before you go mmụọ, maọbụ ịgọ ọfọ ụtụtụ, maọbụ ịgọ ọjị ụtụtụ, or before you do any sacrifice. Because Ogilishi is used to cleanse even your body, your house. You want to use it to purify your house. You can even use it as a smudge, to purify your house. You use Ogilishi to cleanse your car, even the entrance to your door. You can also use Ogilishi leaves to cleanse your body after you attend a burial, to remove any ochu and oraku, jinns, hexes, and all that negative energy. It is very, very easy and simple to contact this when you attend a burial. Please cleanse your body with Ogilishi before you enter your house. I have told you how to do it. I have told you how to cleanse using that Ogilishi leaf and the first rain water of the year if you are privileged to collect it. But if you are not, you can use ordinary water, or you can use your water of incarnation. That is your spiritual water, where you come from. The people who are from water, they know this. And most Dibias that are called to serve, they know this. You have to, because you have a backup water, spirit, water family that helps in your spiritual journey. So for you to be able to cleanse your altar, just fold Ogilishi leaf, put like 4 or 7 or 9 alligator pepper, hold it tight. Use it to cleanse your okummo, cleanse it from ocho, negative energy, or raku. You know that today, some people venerate Ogilishi, just like Ngu, Akpu, Oji, Nnochi, Ebenebe, because Ogilishi is a spiritual tree too. And some community in Anibo, they use Ogilishi as osisi ofo. That is, if the main ofo, osisi ofo, if the main ofo tree is nowhere to be found, Ogilishi can be used as ofo. Ogilishi tree is used for Igbapu aja. That's the leaf itself, Ogilishi leaf. When you want to make some certain sacrifice, it is used like that Inyechini, like I said before. It is used, and some other spiritual works that I can mention here. And I also taught you that Ogilishi leaves is used to cure little ailments like Oma for etukutu, for ichoku, and ovulation, to restore your ovulation. Okay? If the person is suffering from infertility, boiling the leaves and drinking it as tea is good for like 2 weeks intensively. Drink it as tea. You will see changes in your body. For women who are not ovulating, you will notice that you are ovulating. You can equally add little ginger to it. So I hope you have learned something today. You can also contact me via my page, Dibịa Nwangwu Uchendu, on Facebook, and also Dibịa Nwangwu Uchendu on my YouTube channel. The topic I taught you today is about Ogilishi, the uses of Ogilishi. And Ogilishi is called New Boldia, or fertility tree or fertility leaf in Igbo. And I hope you listen carefully to learn and also put in practice the little ones you can. But make sure you ask questions, or you can consult me for me to put you through. Maka na onye ajụjụ adịghị efu ụzọ. That is what I want you to know. So, I think our time is up, and for today I can say thank you, my listeners. And if there are any questions you would like to ask me, or for spiritual consultation, I'm also available. You can contact me via ADN Radio New York, or you can contact me through my Facebook page, Dibịa Nwangwu Uchendu. Or also, you can drop a message for me on my YouTube channel, Dibịa Nwangwu Uchendu. It's bye from here. Thank you. See you same time, same station next week. Bye.